Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a Katarina game by Itagaki86, and she's been sending another game to me. I cannot actually remember which one, but anyway, doesn't matter too much. And she is playing Katarina in a team full of, well, almost full of carries. The only non-carry is Galio, who is of course an awesome tank, and he has an awesome skin as well. So anyway, this is a pre-made team, so all five of them know each other, but they are not on voice chat. So unfortunately they cannot really profit from that. And we will see if they actually get some advantages for the fact that they know each other's playstyle, at least assuming that that they actually played together before. So as you might have noticed in the pre-game blah blah screen, they have a jungler and the enemy team does not, and that is going to make a huge difference in gold and experience, and therefore levels and items. And we will hopefully see the difference in that come to life in the later game. So Katarina is taking the 1v2 lane. In case people don't know this yet, the top lane is the solo lane because the bottom lane has the dragon near it. And guarding the dragon is one of the things that you need to do if you're in the bottom lane. So basically, once you see someone going for the dragon, you need to react to that. You need to stop them from doing dragon and wait until your mid lane and your jungler and the two, so your partner from the bottom lane, come in, and then you have a 4v4 team fight for the dragon normally, or well, preferably of course a 4v1, but normally it will be a 4v4 because, well, the enemy is going to react to the fact that you're going to the dragon and so on. So you're going to try to win that then, and if you put only one person on the bottom lane, then you're one person short. So if the enemy can then bring their 4 guys and you can only bring 3, you're automatically going to lose that fight, so you're never going to be able to get the dragon. So Katarina then. Katarina is one of the special champions in this game. She has different mechanics from the rest. She doesn't actually have cost to her spells. No cost, no cost, no cost. And channeled spell, but yeah, that still doesn't make it a cost. And for each kill she gets 25 gold, and she gets reduced cooldowns by 15 seconds, and I think that's about, well, half of the ultimate when it's full level. And it refreshes all of her others, except for Killer Instinct, which is like 4 seconds more now, but once you level it up, it will reduce, and you will actually have full cooldowns again, except for your ultimate. So all in all, it is very important to get kills and assists and then continue the fight with Katarina. That's what she does. So the skills then, Katarina here chose the Q first, which is Bouncing Blades. It's the one where you throw a dagger and then it hits multiple enemies, and it will scale up the number of enemies you hit with the level. And you can add things to that, but I'll get to that. For now, it just deals damage, and each next hit deals 10% less damage. Then this W, which was the second skill picked, is, it has a passive and an active, as you can see. The passive basically gives more damage, which is excellent, of course. And then the active gives you a bonus effect to the Bouncing Blades and the Shanpo. And the Bouncing Blades gets reduced health regen for every one it hits. And the shampoo, I think, gets additional damage. Oh, no. She takes reduced damage. That's the one. So, if you use it and then use Bouncing Blade, the enemies you hit will get this above their head. And as you can see, it's reduced healing. And if you use it on shampoo, you are going to get reduced damage from the target you hit. Then the shampoo, which was the third skill picked, is basically another one target nuke. And you can add the reduced damage to that. I don't know if it seems to be that the reduced damage you get from shampoo is actually for all enemies, not just the one you hit. So this one is also a flash in some way, except you can only flash towards your target and never away from. No. Yeah, you can only flash towards the target, but the target doesn't have to be an enemy. That's how I want to put it. So then the ultimate, we will see that many times this game, I guess. Death Lotus. Death Lotus basically throws 3 knives at enemies. 10 knives at enemies over 3 seconds at the closest 3 champions. And yeah, they deal damage, that's all. I mean, there's no slow involved, there's nothing involved. So the problem normally is how to land all 10 knives on your target. And that's where the rest of your team comes in. If someone can stun them, for example, the stun from Galio would be awesome for this. If Galio can stun your enemies and you hit them right as the stun starts, or yeah, it's not a stun, it's a... Come on. Oh, this is so annoying. A taunt, that's what it is. It's a taunt. So if he starts taunting the enemies, it takes something like 4 seconds, and if you react to that correctly, then you can get your ultimate off and hit someone with all of your blades, and that normally means a kill, because they do a lot of damage combined. As you can see, at the moment it's 56 damage, and 56 damage times 10 is a lot of damage. Yeah, so you can build, as you might have noticed, you can build her AP and AD, although we normally see her AP, probably because her AP ratios are higher than her AD, but also because Shampoo has AD and not AP. No, the other way around. It has AP, but not AD. So we normally see AP on Katarina. I don't know what I actually said, so I'm correcting it now. Normally she's a mage, but you can actually build her as a physical champion as well. So of course, because it is 1v2, she has some trouble farming, but that's completely natural. And yeah, she's just going to have to try to do her best at getting minion kills. And doing damage to enemies is part of what she does here. Doing some nice damage to the Alistar, even though, well, it's Alistar's own fault. But yeah, losing the turret here, and as you can see, they can just run away from the ultimate, and that is very unfortunate when that happens. But the jungler comes in and doesn't actually get the kill. Oh, does get the kill. And this guy healed up quite nicely. He was at very low health after taking 6 or 7 tower shots. And now he's around 60% health again. And there is no way they're going to kill him. Oh, he's now around 80% health. But yeah, if you harass him enough, he is going to get killed. He is going to build some AP or something, probably going for Sheen first or something. And yeah, that's not the best build if you want to be tanky. So we might actually see some kills on him. And that means that the enemy team doesn't have a real tank if he actually is going for AP or yeah, AP. So she might actually be able to kill him here, and indeed, because he was on the wrong side, there was nowhere where to run for him for through the ultimate, and yeah, getting some nice damage done there. Excellent work. Yeah, this is what you see from many Alistars, by the way. They are way too confident in that they cannot get killed because they see that all the time. They see that all the time late game, that nobody can kill them. And yeah, Katarina just proved that he can actually be killed. Let me lock the camera. Let's take a look at the actual minion scores by now. Galio, being a tank, will have some trouble farming because he has some AoE damage, but yeah, it's not a lot of damage. So he has to hit everyone, every minion he wants to kill. He has to hit it one by one, and that takes a long time, of course. Let's see the fight. So here we see the taunt from Galio, and as you can see, if you have your team there, it's the most awesome ability ever. Because it stuns them forever, and your team can just do damage. They only do auto attacks to you, so that's all they can do. And during that time, your team can just kill them. And if you have an AoE ultimate like Katarina here, then you are going to do a lot of damage to them. But also, even if you don't, even if you're Corki or Nocturne, you can still do a massive amount of damage. Because they're basically stunned. They can only attack your tank, and your tank is going to deal damage once the ultimate stops. So that's good too. Anyway, going back to what we're actually doing. So Nocturne up to 45 and Katarina up to 25. So this would be the top lane, comparable to the top lane. And then mid lane is Kartus. He has 61. So they are actually above that with the two of them. And then Corki and Galio are the bottom lane. So you can see that all three lanes are kind of equal, but the bottom lane just gave most of the minions to Corki. And the top lane, well, they had to split between jungle and the actual lane. And Katarina is going to have some trouble there, because 1v2 with Katarina is not a fun thing to do. And she managed to stay alive, she even managed to get a kill. And she managed to harass a whole lot. And this guy's dying. Yep. Too late on the ultimate there, but that was because Nocturne actually feared her. And Katarina apparently only being slowed, and this is what I talked about in the Cassiopeia game. You want that to be a stun, because with the stun she would have lived. She would have stunned the Katarina halfway through her ultimate, and that would have made a difference of, let's say, about 300 damage. I mean, it does about 600 or 700 damage. It's 700. So she was about halfway through, so that's around 300 to 350 damage that it would have prevented if that was an actual stun. But it wasn't, it was a slow, and therefore the channeled spell didn't get cancelled, and, well, Cassiopeia just died. So the enemy team then. The enemy team has, let's see, this is top lane, who actually have around 80 minions, which is excellent. And there you see it does get cancelled. Unfortunately dying here because of that. And it's really risky to use channeled ultimates around Alistar, because Alistar has two disables to kill them, to stop them, I should say. And that is also the trouble I've been having with Nunu. If you use the Nunu ultimate around Alistar, he's always going to either headbutt or pulverize you. And all in all, yeah, you're going to lose your whole ultimate, and it just doesn't do any damage. And yeah, that's a shame. So you have to wait until he used both of them or until he's not around. And yeah, most of my teammates normally don't understand that, but it's so easy to just use your ultimate and then cancel it if you're or well, if I use my ultimate to just cancel it if you're Alistar, because you just right click on me and then you're done. I cannot move during my ultimate, same as Katarina. And yeah, it just gets cancelled. Same goes for Karthus, by the way, but most Karthus players know that. That's why you normally don't see a Karthus ultimate with any enemies around. Because if it gets cancelled, it doesn't do anything, obviously. But Katarina's ultimate and Nunu's ultimate at least do some damage. But Karthus' ultimate will do no damage. And that would be very bad. Obviously. Anyway, so the mid lane was probably Cassiopeia. And she has 97 minion kills by now, which is the highest in the game. And that is excellent. Yeah, we saw in the Cassiopeia game that she has no trouble farming and simultaneously harassing the opponent. So she obviously did very well in mid lane. And remaining are the top two, which is the bottom lane, and who now have about 80 minion kills. And that is about comparable to what everyone else got. So, by the way, now the top lane has about 115 minion kills. So, Katarina now, because there's no one in the lane, can farm most of the minion wave. And that is huge, because that gives her so much gold compared to what she had in the early game, that she's going to be able to afford some nice items here. And she gets the turret even before anyone reacts. And this is typical for the lower ELO play, that they don't actually see this happening. They don't see that the turret is dying until it actually dies. And I see this all the time, and if nobody pings the turret, then nobody's going there. I try to keep an eye on the minimap at all times, but it is very hard to do. It's very hard to be the only one on your team who looks at the minimap regularly. And it is a very vital part of this game, to just look at the minimap and to keep the strategy of the and the positioning of enemy champions in the back of your head. So to react to that, instead of just doing what you want to do, you have to react to what they are doing. Oh, she's here. So Cassiopeia dying here once more. Cassiopeia had the ultimate use of her ultimate there. If she had just turned around, used her ultimate on Nocturne, he would have taken a lot of third shots. He would have been dead, basically. And I think she already used it, but that would have been the ultimate chance to get an easy kill. That's also why you need to be very careful doing these things against Ryze or any in a lesser regard, but this one, a Lux. So all of the champions that have a decent stun. Morgana, I guess. And even Alistar. I mean, even Alistar can get a nice pop-up and then a headbutt, and that keeps you in the turret range for around, I think, 3 or 4 shots. And basically that's enough to kill you if you're Nocturne. So item-wise, what do we see? We see that Galio is actually following right along the recommended item list, getting the Chalice of Harmony first, which has magic resistance. And magic resistance adds to his AP. We'll be doing a Galio replay in, well, I think 2 days or so. It is in my inbox, and I am doing them chronologically, as I said last game. And here you see the use of this ultimate in combination with Galio's ultimate. That is such a good combination. Is he going to die? Yeah, she's dead. Wow, that was actually a huge amount of money. So actually not getting the kill here with her ultimate, but she's still going to get the kill. And not having to use her flash here. Excellent job. By now, Bouncing Blade is maximum. Killer Instinct is level 3 and Shunpo is level 5. And we have a level 2 ultimate, which does a lot more damage, as you will see. It's instead of 50, it's 65, and yeah, that is huge because you have 10 knives, so that's 150 extra damage if you land all of them. So keeping up with the minions, keeping up with the jungling, defending both the top lane and the mid lane, doing a good job, just being present wherever there's, well, things to get, basically. Not actually attacking anything at the moment. Probably would be good to start off before you start typing. So kill wise, it's a 6 kill for Nocturne, 5 kills for Katarina, and that's it. Yeah, well, the one for Cartus, but that doesn't really matter. So they are the two that are going to do the damage here. And that's good, because one of them is magic and one of them is physical. And that makes, well, that makes for a hard to defend combination, of course. Oh yeah, I was doing items. So we see a Phantom Dancer on Nocturne, which I like. Nocturne, yeah, is one of those champions where you can really use the extra attack speed. And the critical strike, of course, adds some more damage to it. The Nether's Razors is going to be Blood Razors, then I agree, you should really get that. The Razors on their own, yeah, it's a good jungle item, but that's about it. He really needs to upgrade that to something else in the late game to make it useful. But if you're jungling with Nocturne, you definitely want the item because you already have the cloth armor. And it adds a lot of power to your jungling. So you're going to want that. Here on Cartus we see, well, he got the Sorcerer's Boots, which is very nice because it adds magic penetration to your build. Magic penetration is very underrated in this game. At the lower levels, that is. I'll try to follow her in the background so you can actually see some of the jungling and minion killing. And then we see Archangel Staff, which is of course awesome on any champion that is using a lot of spells and that has low cooldowns. And Cards is definitely in that category. So Katarina then already finished her Hextech Gunblade. Because of, well, 5 kills, 92 minion kills. Yeah, that's going to give you a lot of gold. Also, getting the Giant's Belt plus Amplifying Tome for the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which will add, and here again, you see the problem with the ultimate. So not Katarina's ultimate, obviously, but the ultimate of Cassiopeia. Katarina going after the weak one. I don't know if she can catch up. No, she cannot. Yeah, that's probably wasted. Oh, almost dead there by the Cartus ult. No, she's not going to get it. So that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. She might have been better off taking this route because she knew where the enemy was going. And by taking this route, you have a better chance of cutting them off. But you also have the chance that they can actually go back home by going to this bush, for example. But if you think about it and you want to chase them, then maybe it's the best thing not to just chase them straight on, so walk the same path, but just take half a second to figure out the better way to run. And if you see your opponent running up and probably going to run down, then you want to go straight on to the point where you're going to catch up. And in this case, it would have worked, but well, we can't see that. I mean, this time she lost the chase, but she might have also won the chase. But then again, chasing Lux is also very hard because of her snare, of course, which, yeah, as you could see, kind of saved her. Corky then, of course, already on his mana immune, and now for the rest it's kind of all over the place. Vampiric Scepter for some lifesteal, Zeal not built into anything yet. So we'll have to see what he's actually going for. But yeah, here mana immune is also very nice because of his ultimate. His ultimate's very low cooldown, and yeah, it is going to help charge up the mana immune. Big deal. Who was that? Oh, that was Nocturne jumping into the middle of, I think it was 5 enemies or 4. There's 4 left, but this guy is almost dead. But nobody's chasing. Yeah. I don't know, they seem to be chasing the wrong guys. Not using her ultimate here. Or is it on cooldown? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be on cooldown. I don't know. Wow. Jack staying in at very low health and actually getting the kill there. So, not the best of engagements here. 3 for 0. And they might even lose the turret. Even though they still have Karthus, and Karthus can wipe out minion waves, of course, with his E and Q. So the Q is the little bombs on the floor, the time bombs, and then the E is the large circle around him, which does damage over time. So it's AoE damage, basically. So it's not damage over time. Because damage over time is something different. So Kart is dying there, and obviously didn't have an ult anymore. Didn't have anything more we could throw at them. And yeah, it's a shame because he didn't need to die. The tower was under no pressure, and he could have just gone back home to heal. Oh, that's the wrong guy. I was watching Katarina. Hey viewers, it seems that my software did something that wasn't supposed to happen. I can't actually remember what happened because it's about a week later now. Because I had this commentary sitting on my computer unfinished and I kind of forgot about it. So I came across it and I thought I'd finish it up. And I think this is right about where we left off. I think it's 28:16 where we left off. So at least we're going for dragon here, and the kills are pretty much equal. There is yeah, at the moment there is no problem getting the dragon, and they do get the dragon. So minion kill wise, it seems that they are ahead, which is excellent. The kills are actually equalized now, so that is good. And Nocturne and Katarina are the two that have the most kills, and therefore the two that have the most gold, because the minion kills are relatively equal. I mean, the 150 is definitely better than the 100, but for the rest, so let's see what happens here. So some excellent damage output from Nocturne and Katarina, and somebody ran in here. Yes, there we go. Oh, actually getting killed there. Maybe not the best place for an ultimate, but they might still get her. No, actually missing everything, so no. Caitlyn's gone. Oh, unless she's still hanging around here. But this Galileo might be killed now, because, well... or his teammates just come to help him, that's even better. So, as you might notice, I just began with this commentary. I am not really up to par here with map awareness and things like that. Normally, you won't see me, well, messing up like this. Well, I do mess up quite a lot, actually. But yeah, well, it's a good trade. So it's now 22 to 19. That means they picked up 3 more kills, or 4 more kills, and the enemy won. So they're 3 kills ahead now. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway, so the scariest thing on the enemy team would be Caitlyn. But yeah, she doesn't have a lot of minion kills. And the one champion that does have some nice minion kills doesn't actually have a lot of kills. So I guess the kills are a little bit too distributed here on this team, and therefore there's no real threat. I mean, Cassiopeia still does a lot of damage with her Rabadon Death Cap and well, spell penetration, magic penetration. But it's not as much as this team can do, because they focused all of their gold on 2 champions. Well, not all of it, of course. Since even if you don't get kills, if you get enough minions, then you can still build pretty nice items. If you don't get any minions, then you're pretty much screwed for the rest of the game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I discussed all of the skills and things like that, because I always do that early game. And I cannot actually remember, as I said, what happened, because normally I will record a second part of the game right after the first one crashed or whatever. Might have been that my hard drive was full. I know at one point I had a game where my hard drive was full, and that would require a little more work on my part to clear up some space, delete some old files, old commentaries mainly, and well, basically get some free space. And it might have been that I didn't feel like it anymore. I really don't remember. So anyway, so the whole team seems to be, well, spread out. 2 of them are in base, probably 3 now, because Corky was recalling there. And that means that Katarina is quite vulnerable here to enemy ganks. But the enemy team doesn't seem aware that she's actually here. And they're very nice ultimates. All of the daggers landing on one champion. There's no way that Cassiopeia could get out of that. And she might have had her ultimates, and the ultimates has, I guess, a 1 in 2 chance that it actually stuns her. but didn't use that at least. So I don't know. So running across the map to go help top again. The whole team concentrates on getting these enemy champions out of their third range. And once again, a nice ultimate. Unfortunately, not concentrating this time on one champion, but they still get the kill on the Caitlyn, which, as I said, is the most important champion on the enemy team, or at least the most fed champion on the enemy team. Because, yeah, having the most items doesn't always give you the best damage, but yeah, picking up 3 kills does give that. As a team, that is. I mean, that was excellent. So some nice damage on this whole team. I don't think that the enemy team can actually come back from this. Not sure, of course, because we've seen some pretty crazy things, and yeah, it does require one of your characters to be fed, or to at least be really skilled. And if one of the characters was really skilled, or one of the summoners, I should say, then yeah, why would they be so far behind? Because we went from 18-18 to 31-23. So they did some pretty nice, well, some pretty nice work. It might be because their minion scores are just better and they have more gold, but unfortunately there's nowhere a way to tell except for actually counting all the minions and multiplying by, well, an average amount of gold. But for example, the dragons, well, they give you a lot of gold, but they only count as one minion. And same goes for Baron, obviously. And since I've done the first part of this commentary quite a while back, I don't actually remember what happened. So it seems that there's a little scuffle going on here. And Cassiopeia died at least. And Nocturne died as well. Oh. So in case anybody still wants to know, I'm recording this with Fraps and the LoL replay system. And the audio file is created by, or recorded by Audacity, which is free software. Fraps is not. Fraps is relatively cheap. And there are plenty more sorts of these kind of software available, but Fraps to me was the best one. I tried about 5 of them, as well as a huge number in fact, of audio systems, audio software. And all in all, this combination worked the best for me. Doesn't mean that they are the best, but yeah, Audacity tends to crash a lot, but as it's free, I'm willing to invest like the half an hour it takes to regroup all the files and to make it into one audio file. Because basically when it crashes, it still recorded everything, but it cannot finalize the recording or something like that. And what you have to do is take all the 2-second sound samples and put them in the right order manually. There's no program to do that yet. And with Windows 7 it crashes about 50% of the time, so you can imagine that it is a lot of work to make some of these videos. And of course, the longer the video is, the more of these samples you have, and the longer it takes to actually restore the audio file. So they do lose 3 or 4. Yeah, Karts was dead as well, so only Nocturne survived this, it seems. Although he's also here, so they might actually have lost 5. So at least it's 31-29 now, so they lost their entire advantage by going after the enemy and not being grouped up, or, well, losing the cards first didn't really help because he does quite a lot of damage and he has a slow and all kinds of nice things. And there's someone in your base. Get in. You know, Alistar can be very annoying like that. He can just run up into your base, past the turrets, and get a lot of things done. Where's this card going? He actually teleported this far. Really. So it takes like, I don't know. Oh, wrong key. It takes 4 seconds, and running there would take about 6 seconds. So I guess you saved 2 seconds and you wasted your summoner. Excellent job. Excellent job. So, card is up to 215. Corki 206. And on the enemy team we see 1 over 200, which is Cassiopeia. Wow. So Cassiopeia is starting to catch up because now, compared to the 137 of Katarina, they're pretty much equal. Because, well, there's 6 kills between them. But, well, 6 kills, I think, compensates for the 90 minion kills that are between them. So, yeah, there's a lot of catching up on the enemy team. And by now, yeah, I would say Cassiopeia is the biggest threat. Maybe together with Caitlyn. Of course, Caitlyn does a lot of damage. But, yeah, her traps are pretty much useless because you can see them. And, oh, this is not going very well. Come on, kill them. Well, at least Corki got another one. So that was a 4 for 4 trade. And now it's Corki against Alistar, and Corki should be able to kill this Alistar pretty much. Yeah, because that's all that Alistar is going to do. As long as he stays far enough away. Of course, there's always the possibility of flash and pulverize. But yeah, without an enemy team and with a tanky or a tank build on Alistar, there's no way he can actually kill Corki here. And Corki can, of course, kill Alistar. It'll take a while, but he can. He's one of the better DPS characters. And he does have Trinity Force, Metamune, and some lifesteal, obviously. I don't know, Trinity Force on Corki, is that any good? It does increase attack damage and ability power. I've never seen him build for ability power. I don't know what actually scales with ability power. I guess the bombs do. So the Q and things like that. The Valkyrie probably. The Valkyrie is never used for damage anyway. So then you have attack speed, critical strike. Yeah, that's useful. Movement speed is useful. The health and mana, well, they're useful. And then of course the slow and well, the sheen effect. But all in all, yeah, you could have used that money to buy Infinity Edge, which he doesn't have. No. And I think Infinity Edge would add a lot more power to Corki. As well as putting him in auto farm mode, as they called it, on the DreamHack tournament. Which is basically, if you have enough mana on Corki, you can just auto attack everyone. So the attack move command, by the way, is A and then right click, or X and then right click. Don't actually know if A works, but yeah, it does. So it's A and oh, it's left click. Never mind. So that would mean that it will target random minions and, well, random targets, I should say. So it's not really the best way to farm, but it's definitely the easiest way. And it will move through all of the minion waves until it reaches the point where, well, you send it to. And generally it's better, since you only have one unit to control here, it's better to just do it yourself and just right click the minions you want to hit. So they are defending the base at the moment because, well, they're only 3 kills ahead. I don't know, yeah, if they're actually ahead or behind at this point. I mean, that all depends on a lot of stuff. But it seems that they should be behind because they lost the last 2 team fights, and this one they're actually going to win. And Katarina should really back off here, just like Curtis, and let the other 2 handle it. Yeah, I guess the Trinity Force is useful on Corky because he just hit for quite a big, yeah, for quite a big amount of damage. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how low Katarina actually was, but it seemed to me that she still had like 400 hit points. And why would you say nice luck then? I don't know. So Katarina going back here and going to buy some nice stuff with the 1600 gold. And there you go, that cap. And can we afford something else? Well, we can, but not something we want apparently. So with that cap, Crystal Scepter and the magic penetration from Sorcerer's Shoes, yeah, we're on the way to being a real powerhouse in this game. And let's see if, yeah, Cassiopeia actually ahead in that regard. I mean, she has the same 3 items, and then she has Abyssal Scepter, which furthers the magic penetration. And of course, the Hextech Gunblade, well, makes up for part of that, but it's basically the same as the Hextech Revolver. I think this is 15 and the other one's 20. 25 spell vamp. Okay. Of course, it does provide you with lifesteal as well. And since Katarina does both physical and magic damage, the combination is kind of important. So Jax not actually getting killed here. Oh, an excellent ultimate from Galio, keeping the Katarina ultimates on the targets. Yeah, they really shouldn't chase that guy. I mean, he either dies or he lives, and don't chase him. So 2 of the carries in the front here. It's a shame that Galio doesn't have his ultimate here, because these would be 2 very nice, very easy kills. But are they going for Baron, really? Yeah, well, guess with Jax and Lux out, Lux is the main one to steal it. But yeah, they know that the enemy's coming. They're not actually engaging the enemy. Wow. Come on, guys. Get the enemy here. Oh, he had benches, Guardian Angel, so it's a good thing. Oh, he's going to die anyway. That was a, yeah, 2 for 3 trades, but they did pick up the Baron, which more than makes up for that, because it's 300 gold per person, meaning that it's worth about 5 kills. It's not actually worth 5 kills, because if they ace you, yeah, they can still push, and they can get a turret. And an inhibitor in this case, because, well, all of the rest of the turrets are gone. But it is quite a lot of money. So Corky once again on the defensive here. Corky and Nocturne are left, and yeah, they aren't really the best characters to guard your base with, because both of them are really offensive. I guess Corky is quite good because he has the long range missiles, but Nocturne really isn't a good defender. He's a really good ganker, and that is his role in the team. And of course, that's why they normally jungle with him, because he's a horrible jungler, but he's so excellent when coming from the jungle to to get the kills, to gank people. And with his skill set, yeah, he should be able to do a whole lot of that. So farming it up here with Katarina, actually leaving the last four. Don't know why. Is somebody coming? There might be. I mean, there was a ping on the map, but I don't know who sent it or why. No, it seems there was nobody coming, because they all came from what seems to be Dragon. They probably lost Dragon there. Guys, don't run away. Kurt's completely forgetting that he has an E skill, this thing, the area of effect damage. And Katarina and Corky really trying to get all of the kills here. Still chasing after someone here. And Katarina actually giving up because, well, she was way too far away. And this Lux might actually die. Come on, get her. No. That's not good. That's good. No, she should have waited until Lux was around the corner. Oh, that was excellent. But because Lux wasn't running around the corner yet, she lost sight and therefore lost about 3/4 of her ultimate. And she should have either, shampoed around the corner, or just waited until Lux rounded the corner. And this was excellent. Not going back, just first attacking the turret and an inhibitor, and then afterwards deciding whether or not you want to go back. Because people at a low ELO level tend to not push when they actually can. They tend to push when they're full health, and then, yeah, instead of just making use of the advantages created by killing someone. You can push a turret at 100 health. As long as there's no one coming to kill you, there's no problem. And they still had about 500 health each, so it's not like one shot will kill you then. Except when you're AP Tristana, of course. Well, if the other guy is AP Tristana. So, what's the next item? Also an Abyssal Scepter. I like this item a lot on a lot of champions. But on Katarina it's especially nice because she has to be close to someone to do her damage. And then the magic resist is automatically reduced. So of course on casters it's a little bit more difficult, and on Teemo it's pretty much useless. Because Teemo does most of his magic damage with his mushrooms, and the mushrooms are hardly ever close to where you are. So getting 2 pots here are elixirs. Elixir of Fortitude, which increases your health and your attack damage, and the Elixir of Brilliance, which increases ability power and cooldown reduction. So it says massively, it's not that massively. They reduced all of the elixirs in what they actually did, and I think they still don't fulfill the role that they actually needed to. They were created to allow a team that is behind to get a short-term boost to actually get back into the game. That's really not how people use them. People use them to well, to increase the damage or whatever of nice one. To increase the damage or health on characters that have too much gold. So basically, when they have 5 or 6 items, they will start buying them. And the pro gamers tend to buy them a little bit more often, but it's almost never that we see someone buying an elixir really early game. It's mostly a late game thing. So they already decreased the cost and decreased the what they do basically, so the power. But yeah, it doesn't seem to help at all. And yeah, I can see why. Because, well, why would you buy something for 4 minutes early game when you can have about half of the power of it with something that will last you for 50 minutes in a game like this? So the enemy team pushing out here, being slowed considerably by someone. Don't know by whom. Might be Corky, because Corky actually has the slow. And oh, Curtis might have something to do with that, because he has a huge slow. Okay. Getting some kills off at least. And yeah, getting another ultimate off here. I don't know what Jax was doing there. He was all alone. But yeah, well, I think this should be GG. They should really just run in, kill these minions, and win. Because, well, there's 4 champions down for the next 45 seconds. See, and this is what I mean. In a pro game, or in high ELO game, they would definitely be destroying these turrets. And in a low ELO game, did I say low? I meant in a high ELO game, for the previous statement. And for a low ELO game like this one, people go home to heal up first, or to go do, blue buff and red buff. I mean, Corky went for red buff, this guy went for blue buff, and now they go for Baron, but you don't need Baron. They could have already won. I mean, how much did it take to actually kill this Nexus before these guys respawned? But hey, it's the difference between the two. And it's something you have to learn, and really this isn't the way to do it. The way to do it is to be more aggressive when you can. And especially if you have all inhibitors down, there's no way that one person can defend against you, even if you have only 200 hit points each. So anyway, this is GG. I hope I didn't mess up the commentary too much by leaving it for, I think, about a week. But it was a nice game, at least the second part. I don't remember the first part, but I hope you enjoyed. So I'll see you next time. GG.